Hi, everybody. Welcome to the third webinar in the Inspirational Authorship webinar series. I'm Joyce Ross. Sitting next to me is Patricia Connor. We're the co-founders of Kindness is Key Training and Publishing, Inc. And the series that we publish is the Heart, Mind, Wisdom Inspirational Anthology Collection. For anyone who's just joining us, welcome. And Patricia, you have anything you'd like to say off the bat?
Off the bat, I'm just happy to be here, and this webinar series is going really well.
It is.
And we're really excited about what is going to be on the video today.
Yes.
And you've put a great effort into it.
Yes.
And
it's a great
please pay
lesson.
attention, because these things are really important, and they're little loopholes, or not the loopholes, but problems that we get into as new writers. So everything that Joy puts together is top notch. So please listen when the video comes on.
Okay, thanks, Patricia. Okay, so last week we took a look at passive and active sentences, and I always like to do a little bit of a recap. For those of you who are new to the webinar series, I need to tell you that in your welcome email, and also again in the thank you email that you'll be receiving from us 24 hours after this webinar, there is a link to where the writing course materials are. This means you can go there and watch the video lessons from the first two webinars that you may have missed. And for those of you who didn't miss it and you just want to recap it, just go and watch the lesson portion, or you can watch the whole webinar. So it's pretty exciting. And the neat thing about the lesson portion is that you can fast forward it to whatever it is that's most of interest to you. So there you go. So I want to do a bit of follow-up. How many people, Patricia, I don't think you've got yourself on chat. You got it.
Yeah, I'm on, and we've got lots of highs.
Lots of highs?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I always like to ask our hi people a question. Okay. And my question is, did anyone do their homework last week? Now, not Patricia's fun one, which she's going to talk about in a minute, because I'm pretty sure you all did that one. But did you do the one where we were going to put the storyline map, where you were taking all of the information you put together from the first exercise and you were listing it under intriguing events, highlights, circumstances, changes, and aha moments in your life, and then the corresponding action in the middle of the action, and the primary and secondary messages. And the reason I'm nagging is because I'm good at that. Is because today you're going to learn scene writing, and after you're done scene writing, you're going to be chomping at the bit to start your story. So don't just go from scene writing and start your story. Go back, do your homework, organize your thoughts, make sure you're starting exactly where you want to be starting with your inspirational story, and you'll save yourself a lot of work later in editing. Trust me. You want to add anything to that?
I just want to tell you that Marla did her homework.
Yay, Marla! Yeah, that's excellent. Now, sending in your homework is not a prerequisite of being in the course, because we know everybody's busy and things happen for different people at different times. But you're always welcome to email us your homework, and we'd love to take a look at it and send you some feed forward if you ask for it. You might notice that we use the word feed forward. Do you want to tell them how come?
Feed forward, yes, and we need to explain that.
Yes, I think we should.
Yes. So we coined a new word.
Yes.
And the new word is feed forward instead of feedback, because we feel that constructive criticism is better than, and we want you to move forward. So instead of giving you feedback that maybe might not be as nice as positive we would like people to give feedback, we decided that we would make it feed forward. So whatever we tell you in a positive way so that you can move forward. So I suggest that you start using that word.
It's a great word.
Yeah, for us now it's like normal, right?
That's right.
We don't even know that we say feed forward instead of feedback. So and it's also a good opener when you're talking to people, and you might say feed forward. They're going to ask you, well, what's that? And then you can get into what it is and give an explanation, and just share positive feelings and vibes out there in the world.
I find that when I say to somebody, can I give you some feed forward, that in my own mind I reframe how I'm going to phrase things, so that it is super positive. Mm-hmm. And when somebody says to me, I want to give you some feedback, I always think I've already been back. Why would I want to go back? I want to go forward. So that's why we came up with the word feed forward. It was kind of fun. A couple of years ago in the middle of the summer in the sunshine. Okay, so today's, do you want to say anything else, or should I go on?
Well, shall we talk about the fun exercise?
Oh, the fun exercise, I almost forgot.
Okay,
yes,
so I need to know how many of you did the fun exercise. And if some of you weren't on last week, it was about going out and eating something totally new, something you had never had before, and engaging all your senses, and then writing down what your feelings were, what you tasted like, what it looked like, and all of that. Did anybody do that?
That's a great exercise. And you were supposed to eat something new, although, you know, you never have to do anything we tell you to do. It's just suggestions. But as writers, you have to be having new experiences. If you're not actually taking stuff in, if you do serious writing, which I do all the time, every day, all day long, if I don't stop and do something different and kind of get the creative juices flowing again in my head, my writing goes duller, dull, 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 and my energy goes with it. So sometimes, even though if I've got a big project on the go, even though I don't want to break away from it because I love what I do, I force myself to take some time off, and often it's to go into a writing exercise and just have fun and to sharpen up my senses for when I'm writing. So please do the exercise that we give you. And that one's such a fun one. You're going to eat and write about it. Like, who wouldn't want to do that, right?
Yeah, and Joseph did do it.
Yay, Joseph.
And how was that? Joseph, can you just give us a couple of words? And Patty's having some technical issues, so I'm just going to answer her here.
She just needs to refresh or go in and hit the link again.
Okay.
So Patty, if you can hear us, just hit the refresh button. She can't hear us? Okay. Okay, so we also talked last week about passive voice and active voice and the difference between the power that it gives you a sentence. So for instance, when in passive voice, when we're writing in a passive way that's not super direct, we write things like, at dinner, 6 shrimp were eaten by Harry. And you remember this example from last week. And when we're in active voice, we would write it as with the subject first, the object second. So we would write Harry, who's the subject, ate 6 shrimp. So try to keep that in mind when you're writing. I know some of these lessons are a little bit tricky to get. You may not even think to do them when you're doing your drafts, but definitely when you're doing editing, go back over all the tips we give you and see if, you know, these are things that you can improve upon in your own writing.
Okay. Question. So we have some people that have done the exercise, so that's great. Yes. And Gail actually did the exercises and has written 1,800 words.
Wow.
So good for you, Gail. But she hasn't done the fun exercise because she's been ill. So sorry about that, Gail. I hope you feel better. And Joseph did. He had sweet and sour chicken. So
for his first time, or had he eaten
No,
that
this
before?
is a fun exercise. He had never had that before. And Jerry and Margit were going to have butter chicken. So I'm glad that you guys are going ahead and doing the exercise. It's so much fun. And we'd love to see, you know, once you go and do that, what you write about it and send it to us.
Yeah, email it to us. You have our email everywhere.
Yay, Patty can hear now.
Yay, Patty, welcome back.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys, but I was thinking about this course, and I was thinking about courses that I've been in, but sometimes when I see university students and they're like a photographer, and I know they're in a photography class, and they're out there and they're setting up with their cameras, and they're so young and spunky and they're just doing everything so right, I get a little bit envious. But when I do a writing exercise, I'm kind of like them. I always envision myself as, okay, I'm now out here and I'm cool because I'm doing these exercises. And it just makes me not feel so alone as a writer, you know, because I'm with a group and doing different things. So writers need to be in community. So have fun with the exercises and do them. You'll really enjoy them. So we're going to move on to our video lesson today.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to warn you people, it's grammar to begin with. So this week we're going to first look at different points of view. And I tell you why that's important in the video. You need to know what points of view allow you to get into what characters' heads and express what they're thinking and feeling and what their motives might be. Often when new writers write to me, they try to put into their writing the thoughts of a character that's they're not allowed to get into their heads. All a narrator can do, especially in first person, which is likely what you're writing, is get into the character's head that represents them in the story. Everyone else, you're really just assuming what they're feeling and thinking, unless you include some dialogue or show or talk about why you have proof for what someone else is doing. So it's going to make a lot more sense when you watch the video. So hang in there, pay attention, watch it again if you don't get it the first time around. I try to make it as easy as I could. And the second part you're going to love. It's scene writing, and you're just going to love it. I know when I come back, that's what you're going to tell us. So
that is my favorite. Scene writing is my favorite.
Yeah.
And I just want to let you know that the video is 23 minutes and 32 seconds. So we will see you in 23 minutes and 32 seconds. So
Patricia told you last time that we can't see your comments when you're watching the video, and so we don't get to write back. But we will answer anybody who writes in and asks a question when we come back live again. So enjoy. See you in a few minutes. Oh, we don't have an exercise. Oh, yeah, this is our exercise.
Hi, we're back.
Hi, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the lesson on scene writing. And I know the type was pretty small, so probably you had to strain a bit, but you could hear what I was saying. And but I have good news. I have a scene writing, which I know you really can't see because of the lighting, PDF, which will be at that link that you'll receive in your thank you email for watching this webinar or participating in this webinar. And it's also in your welcome email if you're new. If you're newer, if you have joined up in the last week or so, you'll have had a welcome email with it in it. And I'll send it out anyhow. I'll send you an email with the PDF attached, and you'll have that handy because it's really, really great stuff. When I started studying scene writing, my writing got so much better, so much more in depth, and I could see how much easier it was to just really bring the reader into what I had to say. And we often talk about, I know this is a big thing when Patricia's teaching writing, is relaying that video going on in your head onto the paper and getting it into the reader's head. That's really what we do. That's what authors do, right? So to make sure your writing does that, check out whether or not you're following the scene writing 7 components. So any questions about scene writing, Patricia?
Well, we have Joseph that really liked the way that it was pieced together.
Oh, thanks, Joseph.
And
yeah.
Marla said really liked how you broke down the scene. Broke it down.
Yeah, it really does, for me, explain it a lot more. It's kind of, repetitious when I'm going on and on and on, but it's the only way I can think how to really describe to people what scene writing can, do for your prose. So pretty cool stuff. Okay, I want to ask for homework this week.
All right.
Okay, you on board with that?
Sure.
Are you guys on board with that?
Does that mean I have to do it too?
I think we should do it too.
Oh, okay.
I think these guys will want to know what we come up with.
All right.
You ask those kind of questions, of course I'm going to say yes. Okay, here's your exercise, and this is really going to help you a lot. Your exercise is write a 200 to 300 word, not page, don't panic, 200 to 300 word essay on any subject. It could be, inspirational authorship. It could be how to change a tire on the car. Don't really care. Just a 200 to 300 word essay using all 7 components of the scene writing that you just studied. And like I said, you'll have the PDF coming out by tomorrow night this time. And just so you can really experience for yourself what it is to actually work with the 7 components of scene writing. Send it in to Patricia and I guess it's Patricia and me. We're going to do subject and object.
That's right.
Send it in to Patricia and me, and we'll take a look at it for you and give you our feed forward so that we might be able to help you, or we might learn something from you. You just never know how this is going to work. So plus we love to see what you have to write, and we love to be in connection with you, and this is one way that we can do that. So I'm really asking you to do that. 200 to 300 words. It's not long, and you can only get so much detail, etc. in there anyways, in that many words. But yeah, keep it short and keep it fun, and feel like those university students I talked about. You're on a secret assignment. Okay.
All right. So shall we tell them about next week?
Next week's different. You're going to like it.
Yes. So we need 10 volunteers.
Just 10?
Just 10 volunteers to be on the webinar with us next week.
I love it.
And what we're going to do is that we're going to have a special Q&A, and you can ask us anything. Okay, maybe not about our
anything about writing.
Okay, anything about writing, anything about marketing or speaking.
Marketing your books, yes. Or marketing yourself.
Yeah, let's keep it on the writing subject.
Yes.
And anyway, if you can email us or tell us right now in the chat that you're in, that would be great. And we're just going to have a nice review of the first 3 webinars and answer any questions that you may have. Because one of the things that we really want to do with these webinars is to be accessible to you and help you with any problems that you have in your writing.
Yeah, who knows what questions you might have. And don't be afraid either during the Q&A to ask us for what you want to learn. Like if we're not being clear or you want something explained in better detail, I'm going to do scene writing some more. There's a lot more to it than just what you have so far that really punches up your story. So we'll be doing more of that, not next week, but the following week. And I have to apologize too. I wanted to do sentence segue this week, and there just wasn't time. I just didn't want to put you into information overload and make you crazy. So, because I want you to come back again. So I will cover that also coming up in this webinar after this one. I haven't forgotten. I have it all written, ready to video it and give it to you.
Okay, so we have one volunteer, Joseph.
Yay, Joseph. We'll get to connect with you. I love it.
Okay.
Don't be afraid, you guys. We're going to send you the instructions how to do it. Well, actually, if you volunteer or you send an email saying that you're willing to be on with us, we really would appreciate that. And you're not on all the time. It's not like there's suddenly 12 people on the screen.
No.
You put your hand up. Your picture will be on the bottom. We'll see your hand go up. We click onto you. You're the one that goes on screen. So kind of fun and great practice for when you become a speaker or you become, an international best-selling author and you're holding webinars. So it's good to get that practice on camera and lots of fun. Patricia always teases me because the only days I actually put makeup on and get dressed, unless I'm going out to something, is when we're doing webinars or I'm making a video, because the rest of the time I actually write in my pajamas and house coat and really dress up. She always looks like that. She gets out of bed looking like that. Me, this takes work.
You're funny. Okay, and Gail has, she's going to send us an email and has quite a few questions for us. So that's
excellent.
Good. And yeah, so we need volunteers, and don't be shy, because it's just like talking to a friend, really being on, I know you're talking to your computer when you're online,
yeah,
but it's just like, the conversation, and this is the future really of how we will be communicating. Soon we'll have the video phones, and we already have that. I know, but I mean all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and you never know who you'll connect with. Like some of you, like Joseph is on the East Coast. I never want to say the country anymore, Joseph, because I made you Canadian, so I'm feeling bad. No, Joseph is in New York. But you never know. You might connect with Joseph in New York, who has radio shows, which is a good person to connect with.
Yes.
And this will be my first time doing a face-to-face with Joseph, so I'll be excited about that. And also people from out here. And unless you put your hand up, we won't put the camera on you. So you can be in there and ready to go. To ask us questions. You already asked that. I got nothing to offer. We promise we won't click on you and have you suddenly on the webinar with us.
Okay. So Marla's going to check her schedule. Gail is volunteering, and Joseph. So we've got these 3 people. That's great.
Only 7 to go. Come on, wakey, volunteer. Okay. So do we have any more questions that we need to answer before we say good evening?
Not that I see. It'll be fun.
It'll be
lots of fun, and give you time to digest all the information that you've received so far, because it is a lot of information. And as soon as you start writing, and like Joseph says that he's already written 1,500 words, we'll go back through the lessons and look at your writing, because you're going to see that you're going to change quite a few things probably from the first 3 lessons.
In the editing process,
yeah,
that's where you apply all these things that you're learning. Because for me, when I'm writing, I just write. I mean, sometimes I'm not sure if I'm getting like help from above or whatever, because I'm just writing and writing and writing. But the editing is where the real work comes in, and of course, then promotion is like way more work.
Yes.
I did have something I wanted to say. Oh, there's no fun exercise tonight. We don't have like a go and eat a new food exercise because we want you to do it if you haven't already done it. So the same exercise applies tonight. So Patricia, you want to explain the exercise again, the fun one? The exercise again is to go somewhere, or maybe even order in. I mean, if you can't go out, you can always order in something different. And go and try and eat something that you've never had before. And the idea is to really engage your senses. First of all, look and see what's on the plate, and how it's arranged, the colors. Just bring it to life. Bring whatever it is that you've ordered to life. And then close your eyes and start eating. Of course, you might have to keep your eyes open while you put the food in your mouth, and then you can close your eyes and just see how it smells, how it tastes, how it feels, what kind of emotions it brings forth. And do you hear it crunch? Yeah. What's it feel like on your tongue? Sound is really important, what it hears like. And then you will be able to write everything down and send it to us so we can see what the experience was like. Yeah, and what it's actually doing is teaching you to write using all of your senses, because whatever your strongest sense is, and for me it's sight, like I notice everything about people's eyes. I'm pretty much a face person, so I'm always looking to see what kind of emotions people are experiencing when I'm talking or whatever. So I tend to write that way. And I tend to forget about the other senses. So including, you know, the sound and what I smell. So the reason the food exercise is so fun is because, one, it's fun, and two, it really will start to get you to hone your writing using all your senses. Now I want to clarify, every time you write, you don't have to put down all your senses. Like, every scene does not have to include each one of those 7 components. The idea is to remember to include the ones that are going to give you the depth that you need to give for that paragraph or that scene. So it can be sometimes confusing, because every time I write a story, I'm not going to talk about how something tastes. So, okay, Patricia?
I think we're done for tonight. So thank you very much for being on the webinar tonight. And we will see you next week. And we expect your emails with the essays and all your questions, and to volunteer, please. Okay, so good night.
Take care, everybody.